Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where despite our best efforts, we are dying. Unfortunately. We could survive this, it is possible, but we have to assume that we're not going to. So, to that end, that means that we need to get our daughter invested in for a lot of these successions. Our son is already in position for that. However, for some of these anyway. However, he is our Raban, and I tried off camera designating the heir just to see what would happen here. Nothing changes. It takes these resources. Our daughter remains our heir. This is because he's our Raban, and there's not much that we can do about that. So we're just going to have to promote up our daughter here. That was laggy. Okay, so here's our player heir and daughter. And we want to put her in first place. Man, that's expensive. Why is this so much? Male preference. Huh. So that's odd. Definitely. If we imprison him, he would stop being our Raban. We have an 84% chance. I'm going to do it. Okay. We lost our level of devotion, but he's no longer our Raban, which means he should be, if we were to then negotiate release, I just want to release him. There we go. He is now released, and now if we designate him as our heir. Now he's our player heir. Okay, perfect. So that puts us in a better position, actually. It's a weird thing to do, no doubt about it. And we do not want to assign him as our Raban. We will just not have one for the time being. Okay, so now we can come in here and we can influence this candidacy by putting our son in first in line here. There we go. So that puts us down to 1098. Over here, he's already there. This is good. Here, we definitely want to do some influencing. 127. Okay. Here, we want to influence the candidacy. 376 down the drain. Here, we absolutely want it. In Lebanon, we're good. In Palmyra, we're good. In Homs, we want to get this guy up to the top. There we go. Aleppo is not held by us. And then Antioch, we might not be able to do anything here just yet. Correct. Unless, I'm just thinking here. No, I think that's going to be the best we can do for now. We're going to have to tick forward, and maybe we recover from this. Maybe we don't. We're planning that we aren't. War was declared on our liege, and we're not in debt. Okay, maybe we were when this happened, though. So there's a smuggling ring in Tiberias, and we should do something about that. So to that end, I want to get our marshal up here to Tiberias. Okay, so we need to get our influence up a little bit here, and that, of course, means that we want to complete some of these constructions. When are they going to be finishing? That's a long ways out. Checking up over here. Why do we have this temple? It's because we don't have a Raban. That's why. Okay. We're at 11 out of 10 holdings right now. Our son is losing Palestine. Very rude. There's not a lot we can do about this right now, because we don't have much for influence at this moment. So, let's see what we've got here. House governorship rights petition. Holder is close family. What's this guy up to? He is just invested in this. We could try to slander him. And I think that's the best thing that we can do. So, to that end, we can try to throw some prestige at this. We're dying anyway, so that doesn't matter. So that looks good. And then here, we can bring in this guy for some prestige. And then we can bring in this guy for some prestige. Again, we're dying anyway. So then this guy would join for free. And we don't need too much else here. We just hope that we survive long enough to do this. Okay, so something along the lines of that. We're already at 32. But we need to get our hands on a lot of influence, and quick. We can try to hold a feast. We may die, but we can try to hold a feast. And what would we want to do here? Well, recreation would definitely be good. If we did culinary art pieces, exorbitant courses. This is too expensive, of course. That'd be 748 gold. Okay. Well, we will see. Yeah, I want to discard this for now. We will see if we manage to survive long enough to do that. Any of this. Okay, our liege converted acre. For the time being, that's fine. Now, we need to do something about this guy. So if we influence candidacy here, this would be 96 influence that we need. Okay. This guy is a jerk. No doubt about that. Okay, the regent is swinging the scales of power against us. Whatever. We'll get rid of this guy eventually. We can't do anything right now. We can actually swing the scales back, leveraging prestige. Done. Okay, so that seems fine for now. We'll lose some stress here. That actually drops us down a stress level, which is good for our health. We're still dying. We haven't died yet, though. That's a really good sign. So let's go ahead and hold a feast here. So that'll be this. We'll plan this feast, and this is going to be here in Jerusalem, and our honorary guest could be, I don't know, this guy. Sure, why not? And then we can bring these guys up like so. So 748. We cannot start this. Oh, we can't feast while we have smallpox. Fair enough. That actually makes sense. That does sound like a super spreader event or something. Sure. Oh, we actually survived. Cool. That is shocking, but really, really good. So we completed a customs office in Tiberias, and we do want to grant out our court chaplaincy, but we just don't have anyone who can do it. What if we invited our half-brother to court? He might be able to do it, actually. Okay, so he arrived at court, and now I want him to be our court chaplain? Nope, he cannot do it. Was he the wrong religion? Oh, he's Orthodox. Okay, our brother here, this is the guy that rebelled. He's actually rabbinic. So we'll bring him to court. There we go. And both of these should get married. You are married, and you are not. Actually, I don't know if he can get married once we put him in here. Let's do this first. And apparently he can find a spouse. Cool. I don't care who. This is fine. Okay, so we now have him as a Rabban. That's perfect. Excellent. Okay, so that looks good. Up here in Tiberias, I do want to upgrade our peel towers, but I want to... This should be granted out. I'm not sure why he hasn't taken those yet. I'm sure he will. Oh, he is no longer eligible for that because he got married. Well, that's unfortunate. We've got our half-brother here. He would not demand conversion because of his wife. Well, that's unfortunate. Or actually, she wouldn't because, yeah, she's the state religion. So that's understood. He practices a state faith minus 150. So at this point, what we really need is we need to... I'm just thinking here. We need to grant out noblesse to a noble of the Hebrew culture. And the Orthodox faith. Really? I expected this to be rabbinic because the county faith is rabbinic. Okay, that's going to be a bit problematic. So we're just going to have to not have a head of faith then. I don't think there's a way around it, to be honest. It's going to make us some money at least, so there's that. But that's really awkward. There's just no one who can serve as that. Our brother is our new player heir. Why is he in line for Palestine? For all of these things. Why is he now our player heir? You're not supposed to be our player heir. You're supposed to be our player heir. Okay, whatever. We need to get rid of our region. That's for sure. So, we cannot rule by ourselves? Why not? We should be able to rule by ourselves. Awkward. So we're in an entrenched regency right now. But why can't we rule by ourselves? That's very strange. Is it because we're wounded? Surely that's not why. I don't see a trait here that would give us the... or make it so we can't do that. Our brother is now in line for all of these places, and... you know, I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. However, it's kind of split right now between our son and our brother. And I'd really rather it be our son, to be honest. So we can't designate this guy our heir again, which is awkward. But if it's got to be our brother, then I guess that's okay. I mean, that's reasonably fine. I do want to get this slander scheme done. We need a new intermediary here, apparently. We're going to cap at 48 right now, so we could definitely use some advantages here. Sure, that looks fine. So our succession is going to be a mess right now. We need to save up influence for that. Absolutely. So Ezra has been caught trying to embezzle. Is that our regent? Yes. We should try to imprison him, but we can't right now. I still don't know why we cannot rule by ourselves. That's very strange to me. It should not be because of this wounding. Oh, it's because we're in seclusion. I'm dumb. I never emerged from seclusion. Okay, there we go. That's the problem. Yeah, so now we can end this entrenched regency. Perfect. We're no longer sharing power with him. Get out of here. That'll be fine. So we're at 11 out of 8, and I would really like to find somebody that can be a court chaplain. There just isn't anyone. So a stewardship perk is available. There we go. At any cost? Sure. So that looks good. Domain taxes coming up, and we can also sell trivial titles, although we're missing the prestige for that right now. And that's absolutely fine. So we have this title, right? Yeah, so that means we don't need to hold this. We can't grant this title out. It should be leased out to our court chaplain. Why? This is a castle holding. The temple holding, I understand. I think we can't grant it because we need to grant the temple holding first. That's really, really awkward. So if that's the case, then we have to put our son in here. And that was indeed the case. So we have to put our son in there. And then that means that this guy does indeed have to be our heir. Which is certainly not ideal for us, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So let's go through here and see. Our son should not be here. So let's influence candidacy for this guy. 634. Okay. Understood. So over here in Palestine, this guy is currently here. That's not that big of a concern. So we should just go ahead and try to execute this scheme. And this is... We can't even do any of these. Okay, we need at least 5 advantages. So we should wait for 2 more advantages. We'll try to run this, and then we'll try to promote our current heir, is the idea. Succession is very awkward for us right now, though. No doubt about that. This guy's currently sick and dying. Good for him. So we need to get our scheme up here. Okay, we just discovered plate armor. That's great for us. And then we're going to go for bombards after that. So we've got rightful ownership, promissory notes. We're very close to maxing tech. We still have divine right and scutage. Both of these will happen pretty quickly. And then war camels, which will happen eventually. So that looks good. We're very, very close to maxing tech. So there's Granges and Tithe Barns completed. I want to come over here and spend some money, of course. I would like to get some additional upgrades going here. So we'll do that, and then we'll do this. That's a lot of money, but there we go. Okay, now I'm going to execute this scheme. We have a 76% success chance, and we succeeded. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to come to this guy, and we need to promote. Okay. So that'll be fine, and we need to get that going immediately. So this guy would just join in. Perfect. Bring us down to 55 days. So we need 45 at least to drop this down. So 49 here, 43. Actually, she'll just join. This is very close. 12 days is fine. I don't mind that. So what do we got here to bring up the odds? 33. That looks good. And then we've got... Oh, there's a lot of options here. Cool. So there's 34, and then we're already at 99, so this is fine. Okay, so those phases should go pretty quickly. Loyalty and sense of honor, sure, we can give it a go. Okay, cool. So it's good that we didn't have a succession in all that, because that would have been really, really awkward for us. No doubt about that. We are working up our influence, and we're working on building some structures which will build us more influence, of course. Our liege has gone to war. We don't really care. That's fine. He can do that. And now we can build in Buzra, and we absolutely want to do this. Let's get a blacksmith going there. Perfect. So that seems fine for now. Of course, there's this little awkwardness right here. Our son is in line for Amman. Okay, we need to definitely do something about all that. We need a new chancellor, and this guy will do just fine. So that looks good for now. And we're just working on promoting up our brother at this point, or half-brother, I suppose. Challenge status has been abandoned. Okay, this is not a good option. 4% to 95%. Yeah, we'll keep to diplomatic niceties. Thank you very much. So someone was trying to challenge our status, which is very rude of them. But we're working our way up here nicely. Okay, so we're at 70 right now and 10 advantages. So we just need to get a couple more phases here to continue to promote Taman. And I wonder if we can promote him again after this, actually. Another challenge status scheme abandoned. I mean, that means that people are trying to challenge our status, which isn't surprising, I suppose. Okay, a shadow over Desar. Yeah, summon the physician. Okay, let's go ahead and run this as... Well, actually, we could just do it now. It doesn't matter when we run it now. So let's just go ahead and do this, and there we go. He's demanding that we convert. Hilarious. No, that's not going to happen. Okay, so we successfully promoted our brother here. Excellent. Can we do it again, is my next question. No, that's going to time out in 10 years. Okay. So that sounds good. At this point, I want to take a look at what our succession looks like. He's now in line for Utra Jordan. That's good. He needs some help here, for sure. He definitely needs some help. So we could slander our son, honestly. That would be really funny. Sure, let's do it. The only reason we're slandering our son, to be clear, is because we kind of need to. Not because we actually believe in any of this. 27, that's going to take us down to... Yeah, this is fine. So we would then do this, and then this. Perfect. So that brings us down to the minimum phase duration, and that seems great. As far as people willing to join over here, you'll do, and you'll do. Perfect. So now all we need to do is recruit a courtesan. And for that to happen, of course, we're going to bring in, like, this lady, probably. She only needs 4 reasons. Oh, an agent was removed from the scheme. Okay. What else do we have here? You'll do. This is going up very fast. Actually, we might not even need a courtesan, now that I think about it. Because we've got the grace period here. Okay, so we finished constructing a goldsmithy. That's great. Let's just see about building in, say, Jaffa here. Yeah, let's build the farms and fields. Looks good for now. Okay, so we're going to be able to run this very, very quickly. We're growing this by 6.6 per phase, which is insane. We just inherited the Magistracy of Baalbek, which we do not want to hold. So we're going to grant this out to someone else. And that was also one of our counselors. That was our spy master. Okay. This guy will do. Yeah, I really don't think we need a courtesan here. So let's bring this up to 87. There we go. And we can now execute this. This is 92% chance. Success. Okay. So Hoshea is now slandered. So let's see what we've got going on over here. So we can see he's down to 180. So now, if we were to influence candidacy with this being our brother, this would be 397. Done. So he is in line there. Perfect. Looks good. This is not correct. We would need to influence here. And, no, not this guy. I want this guy. There we go. 100. Done. So he's now in line here. This one's got a ways to go. This guy has invested heavily in getting her done for some reason. I don't know why, but he has. So we should probably work on slandering him. We'll get going on that one. Now, once again, I would like to bring in some fast phase durations. Here we go. This one's 73 days. This is probably good enough, though. So, yeah, 22 days is a bit longer of a phase duration, but I'm not too concerned about that. So we'll bring this lady in, and as far as the sycophant goes, we will bring in... Where are we? Here we go. You'll do. That seems perfect. So we'll get going on that, but we're going to need to definitely deal with this guy. He's a bit of a problem. So we'll influence the candidacy of our brother here, but this is going to be very expensive, right? So we're going to have to hold off on that for the time being. In Damascus, this should be pretty easy, actually. So we'll influence candidacy here. 124. Okay, we're going to have to come back to that. We need to get our succession put into place here, and that's going to take some time. So let's get a workshop building here to generate ourselves some more influence. We're actually getting close to being authoritative, which is good. And the fact that we survived the smallpox means that we might have quite a lot of years left in this character, which would be great. That would be absolutely fantastic if that was the case. So we shall see. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on getting our brother in position here, but it's not ideal. I would rather it not be our brother necessarily. So there is that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes. Oh, really? Okay, these guys are rebelling against us. This is not going to be a problem. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you, that war's already over, to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri 8, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.